Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kristi Noem. I'm the Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you so much for coming out today. We have some very exciting news to announce that today we have started a new no shoes policy with the Department, the Transportation Security Administration. TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints. This is something that I know for quite some time people have talked about and discussed, and we know that when President Trump was elected that he pledged to make life better for all Americans, and that includes those who are travelers going through our busy airports. We want to improve this travel experience, but while maintaining safety standards and making sure that we are keeping people safe as they go to take their vacations, travel for work, or spend time with their families. So we took a hard look at how TSA does its business, how it does its screening processes, and what we do to make people safe, but also provide some hospitality as well. Now, this is especially important to streamline the process and look at efficiencies that we can build in as we build up for some big events that are going to be coming here in the next 12 months here in the United States of America. As you all know, right now we have the club championships going on. A lot of travelers and visitors are coming into the country, but next year we will also have the Olympics that will be in the United States of America. The World Cup matches will be happening, as well as many America 250 events. All of those will bring us record travelers to the United States. Many, many people will be on airlines traveling in and out of our airports, and it's important that we find ways to keep people safe, but also streamline and make the process much more enjoyable for every single person. TSA first implemented the no shoes policy in 2006, almost 20 years ago. And in those 20 years, since that policy was put in place, our security technology has changed dramatically. It's evolved. TSA has changed. We have a multi-layered, whole-of-government approach now to security and to the environment that people anticipate and experience when they come into an airport that has been honed and it's been hardened. We are very confident that we can continue to provide hospitality to folks and for American travelers and for those visiting our country while maintaining the same standard of security for passengers and for our homeland. The key to our approach is layered security. Passengers will still pass through multiple layers of screening. They'll also go through identity verification, and in fact, TSA has recently experienced some fantastic success with implementing Real ID. As you know, Real ID was put into statute over 20 years ago, and we recently put that into place that it went seamlessly. In fact, right now we are experiencing over 94% compliance with passengers who come through our airports and screening processes with Real ID compliant identification. Now, as you know, most of those IDs, if they're driver's licenses, they'll have a star in the right-hand corner. They may use other federally recognized identifications such as passports or tribal IDs or military IDs. But many people thought that when Real ID was implemented that it would be difficult. It would, some in the mainstream media talked about it being Armageddon, that it wouldn't be able to happen, and it has happened seamlessly because of the hard work of those who work within TSA and because of our security officers who worked very hard to make sure that passengers were compliant, but to do it in a way that facilitated their traveler. So please, I'd encourage all Americans to still go out there if you don't have your Real ID yet. It does help us identify who you are and keep passengers safe. And we would encourage you to go so and to do that. Now, we're just getting started. We've implemented several transformational changes at TSA and our security checkpoints already just since the Trump administration has come into office. We have recently piloted different types of security lanes. We have family lane security checkpoints that are open at several airports that allow families to get screened separately from other people so that it can be very accommodating for them and their experience with children or small babies. We also have implemented around some of our air bases and facilities the ability to have a military lane that expedites the process for those who currently served in our armed services, those who are stepping up to defend our freedoms, that they can have a security checkpoint specifically dedicated to them and in those areas where we see high traffic volumes of those who serve. With this no shoes policy, we anticipate that Americans and travelers and those coming into our country will be very excited that they will no longer have to remove their shoes. The one thing that I will say is that doesn't mean that There won't be times once in a while where someone will have to remove their shoes. If they get put into a different situation or need additional layers of screening where that may be asked of them, but overwhelmingly the policy will be that no longer will that be required of every single person that comes to a checkpoint. The golden age of America is here. We're so excited that we can make the experience for those individuals traveling throughout our airports in the United States much more hospitable, more efficient for them, more timely, and that they can get to their destinations and spend much more time with their loved ones and with their families and with those accomplishing great things for their futures. So